Hi everyone, my name is Chloe Brown, and for my final gender and communication presentation, I will be talking about the interaction of gender norms in clothing and culture. So, according to Merriam-Webster, gender norms are defined as, quote, adhering to or reinforcing ideal standards of masculinity or femininity. My artifact is a video about Harry Styles, who was on the cover of Vogue magazine wearing a dress, and the backlash he received from Candace Owens, which I will play now.
You can wear your dresses. Nobody has sat here and said, if you're a man in a dress, something bad should happen to you. I don't believe that. I believe people should live and do as they want. But I think it is wrong for our society to keep perverting things, to keep putting in the forefront forms of perversion. It is perverted to me. I do not like seeing it.
Yeah, remember last month when Candace Owens threw some shade at Harry Styles for wearing a dress on his Vogue cover? Well, Harry, he just clapped back and he dropped the freaking mic.
Obviously, everyone's going to react differently to that.
On Wednesday, the 26-year-old musician shared this pic on Instagram. The caption, "Bring back manly men." Yeah, that's a direct quote from the conservative commentator herself.
All right, guys, bring back manly men. Who would have thought that that would have caused an absolute firestorm?
Just a little refresher, Harry appeared on the cover of Vogue's December 2020 issue rocking a Gucci ball gown under a dark blazer, making him the first ever man to appear solo on the cover of the mag. And while some fans were totally here for the barrier-breaking moment, Candace, not so much.
Men put on a ball gown, right, and strut on Vogue because somehow that shows that you're not normal, and that's really empowering and forward. And quite frankly, I do not find men in dresses to be attractive. Women do not find men in dresses to be attractive.
The 31-year-old political activist slammed Harry's cover on Twitter and urged manly men to make a return, adding, quote, "There is no society that can survive without strong men. The East knows this. In the West, the steady feminization of our men at the same time that Marxism is being taught to our children is not a coincidence. It is an outright attack." Well, Candace received major backlash for saying that, and Hollywood came to his defense. Zach Braff tweeted, quote, "Our whole lives, boys and men are told we need to be manly. Life is short. Be whatever the you want to be."
You can wear your dress.
So, as you saw in the video, Harry Styles was criticized for wearing a dress because it's not manly. In this example, men who wear dresses are not manly and do not adhere to gender norms because this is not the standard of masculinity. When we think of a man, we picture them wearing pants, not a dress. Fixmer-Orez and Woods determined in our reading, The Study of Communication, Gender, and Culture, that this is due to the assumptions in Western culture that sex is related to masculinity and femininity. A man is supposed to be strong, provide for his wife, and be masculine, while a woman is supposed to be sweet, emotional, raise a family, and be feminine. Fixmer-Orez and Woods also discuss how these ideas between sex and masculinity and femininity are presumed to be naturally linked. It's only natural for men and women to follow these gender norms. So when someone as famous as Harry Styles is seen on the cover of Vogue wearing a dress, it crushes the gender norms we've heard our whole lives and shows that sex doesn't automatically equal masculinity or femininity. Men can wear dresses if that's what makes them feel masculine, and women can wear pants if that's what makes them feel feminine. And here is a picture of characteristics that are typically seen as masculine and feminine in the gender norms that we've been raised on our whole lives. So in not so distant times, men and women were expected to dress in a certain way. According to Linmuth, Thomas, Mates, and Casey, in Gender Patterns in Dress and Outward Appearance, an individual choice or fulfillment of cultural expectations, women were supposed to have long hair, wear makeup, and wear dresses and skirts, where men were supposed to have short hair and wear pants or shorts. And this picture on the screen is what we typically think of when we envision gender norms in our appearance and our clothing. But now this isn't always the norm. Women can have short hair and wear pants or shorts, and men can have long hair and wear dresses or skirts, although this doesn't mean it won't come without criticism like we saw with Harry Styles. So where do these gender norms even come from? According to Wenhold and Harrison in Emerging Adults and Gender Norms, Everyday Life Experiences, Media Perceptions, Attitudes, and Future Expectations, gender norms come from our experiences with family, friends, society, and the media. So basically everything that's around us. Candace Owens was probably raised in an environment where men wear pants and women wear skirts. So a man wearing a dress was the complete opposite of the gender norms Candace knows due to her conservative beliefs and potentially her conservative upbringing. When Candace criticized Harry for wearing a dress, she said we need to, quote, bring back manly men, due to the gender norms that men who wear dresses are not manly and the standards of masculinity that she was used to. As Fixmer, Orez, and Woods explain, everyone defines certain identities, values, and patterns of behavior as good or bad. And in this case, Candace defines Harry wearing a dress on the cover of Vogue as bad and not masculine, reinforcing the gender norms and clothing that exist. According to Fixmer, Orez, and Wood, quote, gender is central to cultural life. Society's views of gender are reflected in and promoted by a range of social structures and practices. Our culture revolves around gender norms and stereotypes. We place judgments on individuals who don't conform to societal gender norms, stereotypes, and those who break cultural social structures and practices that we are used to. Like Candace mentioned, she believes that anything that comes out of the media destroys values and weakens our society. The culture and society that Candace is referring to may very well be different than the next person's culture and society. Hers just seems to be one where gender norms are the norm, and a man wearing a dress is deviating too far from the point where she believes that it's destructive. And other cultures and societies, like the one Harry belongs to, believes that gender lines are becoming more blurred, making it acceptable to wear a dress and shatter gender norms, especially in clothing. Clothing doesn't have a gender, and a man wearing a dress doesn't make them any less masculine. A man can wear what they want, just as a woman can wear what they want, all while feeling masculine or feminine. Ideas involving gender and gender development are developed throughout our lives, according to Wenhold and Harrison, which can be the reason why views of masculinity and femininity differ between Candace and Harry. While Candace believes that masculinity and manliness is displayed by clothing, Harry obviously has different views from this due to the ideas he has involving gender, which he learned from those around him. As Linmuth, Thomas, Mates, and Casey say, men tend to conform to gender norms more than women, but it's evident that this is beginning to change, with Harry Styles leading the way on the cover of Vogue, which can be seen on the screen now. Men and women should be free to express their genders however they please in a way that makes them feel masculine or feminine or whatever they want to feel. According to Fixmer, Orez, and Woods, just as communication is continuously changing, evolving, and moving on, so is our society and culture. While no one is forcing anyone to believe that men are strong or weak for wearing a dress, the artifact presented the multifaceted idea of gender norms from various viewpoints, especially based on different cultures and societies. In conclusion, we often adopt gender norms due to the people, values, beliefs we surround ourselves with, which is why Candace Owens believes that Harry Styles wearing a dress is a sign of a weak man who doesn't live up to the traditional standards of masculinity, especially in clothing. Breaking gender norms and allowing people to show their masculinity and femininity through various mediums, including dress, is the perfect example of the evolution of communication and gender. And here I have all my citations for the images, artifacts, and sources used for this presentation. So, thank you.